So now on BBC One, just before Songs of Praise marks the anniversary of Windrush, what do you think of the new series of Poldark? We're about to find out.
First this week, the wait was finally over last weekend for fans of a certain Cornish drama. Yes, last Sunday saw Series 4 of Poldark launch in typically dramatic fashion as the Prime Minister's call for an election plunged the country into uncertainty. In Cornwall, hungry locals were rioting. Ross and Demelza, meanwhile, were trying to mend their marriage.
No husband minds his wife being the one that other men desire, but no man wants his wife to be the one that other men possess.
No, Ross.
Your reviews are in.
Knocks the socks off Love Island.
Love what? What? I never heard of that.
If only there was a modern-day Poldark to take on our troubles in current times. Did not disappoint.
Fantastic episode, brimming with suspense, folly, heartache, suffering, and the beauty of maturing love. Loved every second.
Loved it. Great to see so many wonderful characters and storylines intertwined in the first episode. Brilliant start to the new series.
Those feverishly awaiting a characteristically unrobed Ross had their prayers answered in less than 90 seconds after Sunday's episode opened with a scene worthy of a Bond film. It was a bittersweet reminder for some of what could have been.
I hoped to be chosen to be an extra in Poldark. Sadly, despite Cornish roots, I was not. I watched the opening scenes of the current series and my disappointment deepened. At least I could have held the towel.
Valerie! Others were more concerned about the ongoing risk to life the series could present.
Having just got my hormones in check after the previous series, they're about to go into orbit again. May we please have a health warning shown at the beginning of each episode to advise of content that may be harmful to an 89-year-old?
Take this as your advance warning for tonight, Joan. Among male viewers, it must be said, the series didn't seem to hold quite the same appeal.
What's the flipping point if you're a bloke? Just so the wife, other half, can look at you and tut loudly.
While there are also those who said, wait, we have got double standards operating in the programme.
Give us equality. When's it Demelza's turn for a dip?
Not sure about that, I'm afraid. Now, this week marked a year since one of the UK's worst modern-day disasters, when 72 people died after a fire engulfed a West London tower block. Last Sunday, Songs of Praise saw Aled Jones visit Grenfell Tower to hear inspiring stories of faith and discover how the community is coping with the aftermath of that fateful night.
You're still getting people coming in?
Yeah, we're still here to serve the community, and as long as they need us, we will be here. What we are finding now, those who are going in a permanent accommodation, the trauma is beginning to now set in.
Right.
Because they have that time now to sit down and relax. And now they're thinking about more what they've gone through.
That episode of Songs of Praise was shown at 1:25, almost 3 hours earlier than the previous week's show, and that meant that some of you missed it.
When a programme can be on any time between 12 noon and 5 p.m, how is it possible to tune in regularly? Today, we didn't get time to check when it was on until after we finished our Sunday dinner, only to find it had already been on.
Just like Points of View, Songs of Praise does frequently move around the Sunday schedules. But even those who were aware of the programme's earlier slot last week are becoming exasperated, trying to work out when Songs of Praise will be shown.
The BBC continue to amaze. You would not dare switch EastEnders to 4:15 p.m. one day and 2:25 p.m. the next. So why, oh why, do you play around with Songs of Praise?
Many also pointed out last week's programme seemed to have been shifted to make way for repeats, leading to the question,
why could Songs of Praise not have been scheduled later, rather than repeats of Who Do You Think You Are and Britain's Best Home Cook?
A good question, we thought. Let us take a look then at what happened with the schedules last weekend. 2 weeks ago, Songs of Praise was shown at 4:15, following Points of View at 4 p.m. Last weekend, Points of View was moved to 1 o'clock, with Songs of Praise then shown at 1:25. Following coverage of processions marking the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, that repeat of Who Do You Think You Are aired at 4 p.m. Why, we asked the BBC, didn't they just show the repeat of Who Do You Think You Are at 1 p.m, allowing Songs of Praise to be shown just 10 minutes later than the previous week? The BBC's head of scheduling explained the rationale behind the move.
BBC One often has live events and sport in the weekend schedules, and this invariably means that the times of other programmes can change. On the 10th of June, the repeat of Who Do You Think You Are was linked to the preceding live event, as Michelle Keegan's story ended with a link to the suffragettes.
Last weekend saw the launch of a new 8-part thriller on BBC 4. Set in Wales and with a Welsh language version having previously been shown in the country, Hidden Sea's D.I. Caddy John and D.S. Owen Vaughan investigate when the body of a woman missing since 2011 is discovered in Snowdonia National Park.
Reported missing by her mother. Her father, Alan Price, did 3 years for EBH in 2002, released in 2005. No prizes for originality.
Look at the photo at the back of the file.
The series seems to be off to a solid start.
Love it. Well done, all actors, crew, writers, etc. Not forgetting the soundtrack. Brilliant.
Bleak. More horror than a whodunit, with self-harming and remote rural sadism. Troubling, yet sadly believable.
But one keen armchair detective has spotted more than a passing resemblance to another dark drama.
Is it my overwrought Scandinavian imagination, or is the new BBC crime thriller Hidden simply The Bridge set on the other side of the Bristol Channel?
Do explain, Alistair.
A heroine in a dowdy full-length coat and long blonde hair she never brushes. An unusual German car. A bridge she travels across to work each day. The only issue is I can't decide if it's going to turn out to be Series 1, 2 or 3. I shall watch next week with interest.
Well spotted. Surely just a strange coincidence? Or 3? Where there was praise, there was criticism too, though, from those who felt Hidden wasn't a patch on BBC 4's usual Saturday night foreign fare.
Such a shame we lose very good Italian, Danish, Swedish crime thrillers, which are very good, to be served up a very inferior British programme. Very difficult to follow.
While others found the show's occasional scenes in Welsh a real turn-off.
Try me to help you, Ivona. Ti'n iawn? Ti'n edrych wedi blino?
I live in Wales but don't speak Welsh, sadly. I knit when I'm watching TV, so might not always be looking at the screen when the subtitles pop up for a few seconds and miss bits. If it's made in English, let it be in English. I won't be watching it again.
O bosib ddim yn rhaglen I bawb. From drama to daytime and the quiz, whose graphics have left you questioning if trying to play along at home is let's find a different word, futile. Running on weekdays with a celebrity version currently airing on Saturdays, contestants on the quiz show Pointless are tasked with trying to score as few points as possible by coming up with the least popular answers to questions shown on a board.
Rick and Helen, meanwhile, have gone for Andre Agassi, the Las Vegas-born tennis player. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It is right. Cirque du Soleil is 27. Andre Agassi beats that and goes down 17. Very well done indeed.
Richard Osman's forever telling the viewers at home to play along.
You get 1 point for that, John.
6 on the first board, 6 on the second, 12 in all to have a go at home. Good luck.
How can we when the camera is really on the board? Why can't they split the screen, or at least keep the camera on the board? It seems no one is willing to put this, a small change with maximum effect for the viewer, into effect.
John is far from the only one struggling to read everything before the board disappears from view.
It is so frustrating to lose the questions when the camera pans to the contestants.
And picture rounds aren't any easier either.
Please, can you give more time for the pictures when you show 16 at once?
Here are the 16. There we go. Seeley, I'll give you a moment to digest that.
I just managed to get through the first 6 and never see them long enough to work out who they are. Otherwise, Pointless is possibly the best quiz show on TV.
Are you sure, Jane? I think you'll find that's the show that we're about to discuss. Regardless, we put the points made about their graphics to the Pointless team, and this is what they told us.
We're sorry some viewers have found it hard to play along. The aim of Pointless has always been to have people at home shouting at the TV, but for the right reasons. Alexander Armstrong reads each board twice, and we bring it back up again when contestants are making their decision, in an attempt to let everyone at home have time to pit themselves against the studio contestants. But we will of course take a look at the length they are up for in future shows.
And while we are on the subject of Pointless, should Richard ever fancy a break from the show?
If the BBC ever needs a stand-in for Richard Osman, I'm sure my 14-year-old grandson would be pleased to oblige. The specs are his, not a prop.
Uncanny! Fans of my favourite quiz show, Eggheads, have been cracking up demanding to know when it will be returning.
Oh, where have the Eggheads gone? The new House of Games programme is rubbish. When will the Eggheads be back? Please?
Well, Anne, and everyone else who's got in touch with the same question, I can announce, and this is no yoke, that episodes of Eggheads will apparently be served up once Wimbledon has finished. Not too long to wait.
Very, very excited. Really looking forward to it.
And finally this week, after being featured on last week's show, word of your love of the Italian detective series Inspector Montalbano has reached Sicilian shores. Currently about to wrap on filming of 2 brand new episodes, actor Luca Zingaretti sent us this message.
Hi, I'm Luca Zingaretti, and I want to say thank you to all the people that in England look our movies, our films about Commissario Montalbano. We are shooting the new episode in this moment. Please don't stop to look on BBC our films because we need of your love. Ciao, 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 ciao.
That's it for this week, but please do keep your points of view coming. You can email us at pov@bbc.co.uk or via our website. You'll find that at bbc.co.uk/POV. To join in the conversation about the week's TV on Facebook, just search for BBC Points of View. To tweet us on Twitter, we're at BBC POV. Due to the football, we're on BBC 2 next week. Make a note now. You'll find us there at 20 to 2 next Sunday. Enjoy what's left of your day.